Okay, I have a question for you. Do you be telling God the tea, or how do you be telling me the tea? I do. I'm like, gosh, she was getting me messed up. Like, what? Welcome back.
Thriving Teen Tuesday.
TTT or TT. Cause, oh yeah.
Oh my gosh, welcome back to another session. We are continuing our relationship with God.
Yes.
And today we have our very, very lovely guests. And today's a testimonial session.
Mm-hmm.
So you guys want to introduce yourself? We can start with you.
Well, I'm Steven. I'm 18.
Hi, my name is Courtney and I'm 14.
Period. Straight to the point. They're my niece and nephew.
Yeah.
Don't we look alike?
No.
No.
She's trying so hard.
I know.
You do have some features,
Thank you.
but not identical, you know.
Thank
That
you.
says not to lie. Why would you do
Coco, you're
I
named
said
after
some
me.
features.
Coco, you're named after me.
Okay, it's alright. Alright, so in talking about relationships with God, right, we're trying to figure out how we're trying to help the youth in figuring out what relationship with God looks like and what it can look like for them, and what are some ways that they can go around to get into a relationship should they choose. So when you think about relationship with God, what is the first thing that comes to your mind?
Time.
Time.
Yeah.
Oh,
I like
why
that.
time?
Because it's how you grow with somebody. The more time you spend in the presence of somebody or with somebody, the more you become more familiar with them.
Mhm.
You understand them more. You see their ways. You know them better.
Mm-hmm. That's deep.
My new favorite person. Go ahead, Coco.
But I think of peace because every time I come in connection with God, that's all I feel. So
Ooh, they deep.
I'm loving it.
Y'all deep.
Oh my gosh. Okay. So who is God to you?
God to me, I mean, obviously he's everything, but personally to me, man, he's the main one I can really trust.
Mhm.
You know, every time I'm going through something, just regular life, regular deals of life, it's like he's the main one that like I know he'll give me the right answer, even if it's something I don't like.
Mm-hmm.
He's the one that'd be like, "This is how it is. Focus on me, not situation."
Right.
And you'll be straight through the rest of the way.
I love that. Has there been an experience where you're like, God, I really need you?
Right now.
Right now? Okay.
I love
Right
it.
now, yeah.
Okay.
Coco?
well, I feel like I see him as my friend. I feel like every time people feel like God is just God, and he's very big and you can't come to him at certain times, but as I've grown, I've realized that we have to see him as also as a friend
Mm-hmm.
and come to him when we're at our most vulnerable times.
Mm-hmm.
So with that being the case, I just see him as my friend and I always try and come to him as one. So yeah.
Period. Okay, I have a question for you. Do you be telling God the tea, or how do you be telling me the tea? I do. I'm like, gosh, she was getting me messed up. Like, what? Like, you have to send me a message, like let me know, Lord.
Speak to me, open my mind, please, because
That's
I
fine.
can't hear right now.
Period.
So, yeah.
I love it, Coco.
I love it.
Mhm. Oh man. Another question, Sister Mabel.
Yeah. How would you say that God has changed you or your perspective or impacted your life?
I say he's helped me to become more patient, self-controlled. I guess in my mind at ease more times than not.
Okay.
Obviously there'll still be times that like I might get out of line, but he's the one to kind of keep me straight. So if I'm like stressing, he's like just focus on me, keep straight.
Mm-hmm.
And then if I'm like dealing with people, especially at school, if I'm dealing with people at school and they're just coming at me all sorts of ways, I'll just kind of like just zone out of that and just focus on what God's already told me, so I don't have to let what they said reorganize my actions to do something out of line. You know?
Right.
I'd like to add on to that. I kind of feel the same way. Like, I feel like after I built a relationship with God, I feel like I've changed the way I speak,
Mhm.
the way I think.
Wow.
I just changed my, like, everything. Like, I feel like now I learn to, like when I feel like I'm at fault, I realize it and I kind of take it and analyze it and try to fix it as much as I can. And I feel like before that, it wasn't like that. And I also feel like when I come in connection with him, like I start to build a routine. Like I feel like I'm very like, I don't know, I procrastinate a lot, very lazy, don't do a lot of things I need to do. But when I come in connection with him, it's like, oh, it's this, that, and I just get it done. So
Wow, the
he
clarity.
he always keeps me straight, just like how he said. So yeah.
So how did you guys develop a strong relationship with God? Because I'm thinking about like other youth that are in high school and middle school. They don't really care to have a relationship with God. Like, so how did you guys develop a relationship for yourself? Like, who encouraged you? Who motivated you to really know God?
I would say it's my mom. And then after it was like, once I started to kind of change things about like social media and stuff, I started following people. Started to be like Christian influencers, kind
Right.
of like show like, oh, it's how you do this, how you do that. They've kind of like promoted that to me, and that's where I was like, oh yeah, I want this.
Okay.
But I would say that the youth in my church, like in the beginning, I was kind of like just like, okay, it's youth, we're all old, you know, I'm saying it's fun. And then when we started having like events that were like really, really deep, like the spirit was everywhere. I started to really like be like, okay, like this is something I need from me, like this is really gonna take me somewhere. So then after that, that's when I really wanted to find a more deepening in our relationship, and that's when I started. So yeah.
I love that.
Do you have any word of encouragement for somebody who feels like because their parents are in Christianity, they may feel like they're forced into it or whatever, but they don't have their own personal relationship and they don't know how to go about it? Would you have like any message for that person?
I would say find God for yourself, because the way your parents came to God, the way people around you came to God, it's coming to them all sorts of ways.
Yes.
So it's key for you to find Him in like in a place that you know, I guess that you'll meet Him. Does that make sense? Yeah. Because there'll be sometimes He'll come to you and it's like you won't see Him, but it's like that time that you really need Him that He'll come in, and then that's where He'll actually start to show Himself more as you allow Him. But really, you have to like just find God for yourself.
Period.
I'll make this more short and simple. If you really want it, you're gonna find your way. You're gonna really try and make it work and do it yourself and ask for answers from Him. So yeah, that's what I'll say.
Period. They my niece's nephew, y'all.
Love it. I absolutely love it. Did you have any other questions?
That's all the questions I got.
Okay.
They did that.
I love it.
Do you guys have questions for us?
I say, how's the walk for you?
Oh, that's a nice question. How's the walk for me?
Yeah.
So, wait, would you want to go first? I'm
No,
sorry.
you go. You go.
Honestly, it's not easy either.
Yeah.
Honestly, like, granted, being older, I may feel like I know God, but every day is a learning experience. Something new is happening where I feel like I have to really learn something over again. And one thing I learned is the Bible is a mirror of life.
Yes.
So everything I'm going through is in the Bible. So
Yes.
I'm still learning it. My life is still here. Yep.
Yeah.
Is there anything you would tell your teenage self? Something,
I feel
any
like
regrets? Yeah.
I mean, like I said before in the last video, utilize the resources that are out there. If somebody's out there trying to provide these
Yeah.
resources, really getting to know God, take advantage of it and really get to know God.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. For me, my walk with God, I feel like I'm on a pretty solid path. Every now and again, I feel like people are the ones that normally, shake me up a little bit. Because I'm a very passionate person. So sometimes when people come at me wrong, I'm just like, should we just go ahead and turn around and go back? Because I can read you. But just humbling yourself and recognizing that, the enemy is going to try and attack you in so many different ways, and to not allow it to get to you and to take you off track of what you're trying to do. So the path, we're still going. We're still moving. We haven't reached the destination yet. But we're still going and hoping. So
Yep.
yeah.
So for you two, how do you connect or relate to your peers who may not know God as much as you've shared right now? Like, may not know. Do you have instances where you're able to have that conversation and say, "Look, this is how you should know God or know God, whichever way. Like, have you had moments where you've had a conversation about God with a friend or with any of your peers? Either one of you can take it.
I say a big one for me is relationships, because a lot of kids they're into it nowadays. So when they be like, "Oh, my girl, my boy just did this, they did that," I'll tell them kind of how I've dealt with it with God, and just kind of show them that like He should be the focus of it, and most times that's why it fails. So I kind of throw them towards God to show them that like without Him, most times it probably would fail. Like we'll cause it to fail.
Yeah.
So if you need Him to make it work
To make it
Right.
in every way.
I'm sorry, can you repeat the question?
Like-
Basically, have you had like an encounter with a friend where you needed to like guide them towards a God perspective?
I would say like when we're at school and like the way they're acting is not of God. Like, I feel like I need to correct you on some things, and they don't realize what they're doing until I say something. So sometimes I'm like, okay, well, I see that you're hurt. I see that you're upset. I see that this is not, what you're trying to, get into, but this ain't it. You gotta cut it out. Like, this is not what God wants from you. And I was reading this this book. I think it was what is it called? It was one of the Gospels, right? And it was saying how we should make ourselves that we should act like we are worthy of the gospel. So I feel like you have to always make sure, like, okay, like, check yourself, but it's also good to check somebody else as well, and not just keep it to yourself, because people also don't realize their wrongs. So
I got a story I want to add to that.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, so it was lunchtime, 11th grade. My friend, he was like goofing off with people around his table. He's like an athlete, so he has like regular friends and then athlete friends. So he was just like hot potato, with like a bag of like fruits or whatever, passing it back and forth. And I was seeing him from a distance, because I'm eating, I'm chilling. I look at him, I was like, man, he said he want to, follow God, ask me for advice, but he's doing this. It didn't make me mad, but it was like, what's the point?
Right.
So I was like, I don't know why I came to this point, but I came to a breaking point, and it's like I just couldn't just sit there and watch. So I came up to him. He doesn't see me come, so I come from behind. I drag him out the chair. I didn't want to. I didn't choose violence or nothing. But I dragged him back, and then like he fell on the floor, and I was like, bro, like come on now, like you gotta like lock in. Like he's not serious. He has to get serious. I'm trying to give him a path like today.
Right.
So I dragged him back, pulled him up. I think I took him to a hallway I spoke to him about. I was basically telling him that like if you really want to do this, you have to at least do your best when you're public. So then when you go back into the private space, you can kind of reflect and be better for the next time. So
Did he change his ways?
It took a while.
I think he's reverted at this point, but I think he'll come back.
You did your
By the day, right?
Yeah,
You
I did
did
my
what you had to
part.
do,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So the Lord will bless you.
Yeah.
And I'm sure when his time comes where he does feel like he will at least know that he has a safety net with you, right? Where he can come and confide in you
Yeah.
and talk about certain things. So I said, sometimes you gotta do the olive branch, but you can't make them grab it. So
That's it.
It is what it is,
This,
right?
this is dragging for me.
The Holy Spirit came over my head.
That's what I could do. I couldn't just tap and be like, nah. I have to wake him up.
You're right.
He said today.
Right.
Okay.
Literally.
Today.
I know that's right.
Do you want to go ahead and?
I have one more question, but I feel like it'll be like it's gonna open so many doors.
Okay, open doors. Door
We may have to do
opener.
a part 2, honestly.
Okay.
But do you guys feel like there's a difference between godly friends or Christian friends and regular friends? And if so, do you have some?
Yeah. There's a big difference, but sometimes it can be, like it may see the same if you can't discern who's who. So with a godly friend, the advice they give to you, they'll probably throw some scripture in there, some real events. But they'll give it to you knowing that like they're in the walk with them, with God themselves. So they'll kind of see where you're coming from. And with a regular friend, they can still see where you're coming from, but they might direct you the wrong path if they themselves don't see the bigger picture.
Right.
They just kind of give you from what they know, but not what can actually boost you into the right spot.
Okay.
I feel like with a godly friend, I feel like you get so much benefits. Like, just from knowing that you're already in the path of God, you're already benefiting me a lot just from doing that. But I feel like with a regular friend, we're just friends. Like, I feel like we're just having fun. We're just living. We're just talking about anything. So I feel like there's a difference. One may benefit, but like not so much as about the
One's deeper than the other. Okay, thank you for sharing. That's all my questions.
I'm
I
so
got.
excited.
I love them.
You know what? This has been a great session. So just in summary, know God for yourself. As mentioned, it's very important to know what you believe in and where you stand, because there are a lot of influences out there, and I think being solid in who you are is very important. So then that way you're not going with the trend, okay? Going with the trend whichever way it blows. So be rooted in something. You don't have to know Jesus Christ as we know. There's so many other religions out there, but be rooted firm in something.
Yes.
Yeah.
And start now.
Yes. Today.
Before Stephen comes and try you.
I love it.
Oh man.
Well, thank you all for watching, and we hope that you will come back next week.
Feel free to comment, like, and subscribe.
Yay.
Bye.
Bye.